Hey everybody, welcome to my ADHD devlog. God, my face looks greasy. Don't worry about that. Okay, we gonna keep going on. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm so lazy. I don't want to make devlogs. I don't want to edit them. But I need to, for myself, for visibility, for just giving myself credit for the work that I've done and sharing it to the world, because if I don't, then it's never gonna get out there. Nobody's ever gonna know about it. So because I ain't got no marketing team. Okay, so just short introduction. My name, you can call me Kenny Crow. I'm an indie developer. I make things. I make various things. I make video games. I make AI applications. I've been getting into 3D printing lately. I got other stuff going on. I want to be making robotics. Okay, I got plans. And that's what this is. This is the ADHD devlog. I can't be making devlogs about all my projects. I gotta be honest. I got at least 4 projects I'm working on right now, and it's just a lot. So, by the way, I'm a student. I'm a student at Wake Tech, part of their SGD simulation and game design program. It's an awesome program. So look, I'm gonna start off with showing y'all a game, because I know people like games. Okay, so first of all, if you go to the Google Play Store and you look up GridDash, you'll find my one and only published game, which is honestly not that impressive. It's like a Flappy Bird knockoff. It's a cyberpunk with a cyberpunk aesthetic. It's got some indie game musicians music in there, and it's got a shop. But okay, so I published that because I was just like, I'm 31 years old and I don't have a game published. And I'm supposed to be a game developer. I need to publish a game. So I published the game. And it's not very good. But I published it. And it's got every 8 times that you die an ad plays or something like that. I try to keep it real minimal. I don't make any money. I hardly have any customers. I see every now and then somebody plays the game from somewhere randomly in the world. It's not always the US. That's where I am though. I'm in the US. But so this is my idea. This is what I've been working on. This is what I'm going. Okay, GridDash Escape the Grid is turning into GridDash Arcade. I don't know why I'm having these border issues. Don't worry about that right now, okay? Okay, so you can still play GridDash. Okay? We got GridDash and the shops are all going to be combined for all the shops. So this is GridDash. And hold on. The best part is the music. The best part is the music. This is me turning up the volume. Okay, yeah, here we go. I made this song. The other songs are made by other people. Oh god. That was horrible. My high score is over 100. But I'm watching through the phone, so okay, here, let me just try watching the screen this time. Okay, look, it's not that impressive, but I promise there's some cool little background things that happen. But this is the reason why I was I need to do more, because who the hell wants to play this game? Nobody wants to play it, because why would there? There's nothing going on. It's really not much going on. It's a little addictive for some personality types. But for most people, there's no reason to keep this game downloaded and play it more than once or twice, right? Even with the shop, and honestly, most people don't even find the shop. But so GridDash Escape the Grid, Flappy Bird's game, something's happening, is actually becoming GridDash Arcade. It's gonna have 4 games to start off. Eventually, I'm probably gonna make 6 games, 9 games, 25 games. I'm gonna make as many retro, neon, cyber, arcade games as I can that I enjoy, and I'm gonna make each one more fun than the last one. This one is Grid Break. It's basically it's a brick breaker game, and I still need to work on it a bit. It's not done yet. But it's coming along. It's coming along. Oh yeah. And this is the shop. You can change your color, your particle colors. There's music. Oh, I unlocked this track because I got past level 50 in GridDash. Cody Munn, he's one of the musicians. Cool dude. This game, so one of the games is going to be a simulation game. It's going to be like, if you played that game on Netflix, Thronglets, it's going to be kind of like Thronglets, but in like the world of Tron, kind of. You'll see. You'll see. And then game number 3. Oh, what was the other game going to be? It was going to be... Oh, I can't remember. I got it written down somewhere. I'll talk about it in the next video. Wait, what was it going to be? If it comes to me, I'll let you know. Okay, so on to the next project. So, okay, I'm going to be real. So GridDash, I made like, actually the original version was 100% handmade. The first time I made it, actually, in a class for mobile programming, where we were learning to code on Swift. But the second iteration, I moved it to Godot so I can publish it on Android, because I'm an Android guy. And the light keeps getting in my glasses. God. What was I saying? See, I told you this is the ADHD devlog, y'all. But oh yeah, but I kept it on Godot, right? And I've been expanding it, and so now I consider it kind of in its like third iteration right now. I don't remember if I answered my own question, but I'm gonna move on now. So, what I was kind of trying to get at is, as GridDash progressed, I've used progressively more AI, but GridDash is not a 100% AI project, and I'll talk about that with all my projects, because all my projects have a range of how much AI is implemented into each. So with GridDash, it was originally no AI at all. I mean, you don't need it for a Flappy Bird game, you know. But once I started bringing in more complex things like the shop and the audio system and a couple of the like progressive stuff that happens in the game, some of that stuff is made with GitHub Copilot. I'm just going to be honest about that. But really the reason why I'm saying this is because my next project, which I've been calling Iris, which is one of the projects I'm most proud of, is made almost completely with GitHub Copilot with some help from Gemini. I get Gemini for free because I'm a student. You get it for 1 year for free if you're a student, which is super helpful for indie game developers. GitHub Copilot is $100 for a year, so it's pretty dang affordable if you're someone like me who's just working by themselves trying to get a lot done, you know. But this is the project. It looks super boring. This is Iris. Iris is a local AI agent. It works with Ollama LLMs, and there's a lot going on. I'm not going to get into all of it right now. If you want, I have another video that briefly goes over it, and I can definitely go more in depth on it in other videos, especially if that's something that people are asking for. But I'll just tell you a little bit about it. So as you can see, this, you know, it's kind of meant to look like other agents. You can change the color. You can change light mode, dark mode, all sorts of details. The settings and the main features of the app is really where it gets really cool. This tab right here, projects and settings, it does so much. So basically you can set up projects, right? Iris can work without network. Let me say first, you can turn the network off, and the app will still work because it's working on Ollama. There's no Wi-Fi needed. There's no data centers needed. There's no, and I'm going to give this app out for free because I want to show the world that AI can be done in more ways than how it's currently being done. We don't need to always, you know, be giving corporations money, you know, so that we can just have more when we can do things ourselves sometimes, you know. Maybe that's not the best way to put it. I'll talk about it more later. But look, okay, so projects. In projects, you can set up a project. I've got one project here for Pyrus, which is the tentative name of the game I'm going to show you after this. And then here I've got Iris, which is this project, and I've got a like a test project down here. And so what these projects do is they add a huge amount of context to each chat, right? So I can go into tab number 3, and up here there's this project drop down. I can choose which project Iris should be referencing as I'm talking to it, right? So it's a huge context awareness tool, and I can tell this project, because it's not connected to the internet, what we have instead is we have repositories. So I can drop a repository in here in the files in the repository folder, or I can there's an assistant down here, and an AI assistant, and if you go down to repos and you go to the bottom, the Iris repo assistant, and you can talk to Iris and ask it. It will get you a wait, let me turn the network back on. When you turn it back on, you can see that it's working now. And so now you can literally talk to the assistant and be like, hey, can you see if there's a new repo for GDScript or whatever, or can you get me a repo for C# or VS Code or whatever, and it'll go in GitHub, it'll search for the latest repository, and it'll download it so that it has fresh, raw data references for any relevant prompts that you ask it. So in these projects, and not only can you set up repositories, right, but you can set up a variety of bridges, right? Desktop tools. This is something that still needs a lot of work, but Iris can operate your desktop, open applications, take screenshots, talk about the screenshots. It needs a lot of work. But what doesn't need as much work is the MCP support. So I'm trying to make it robust so that it can enable a large amount of MCP types. But right now I've got it linked up to this project, this Godot project up here. And these are all assets that Iris has made for me, which I just got working yesterday, and I'm so happy about. This is supposed to be a shop. It looks horrible, but it did make walls and a ceiling, which I asked for. It made me a cube. This skyscraper is not great, but it is kind of in the right shape. It only has 3 windows. Where are the windows? Right there. Can you see the windows? Yeah, 3 windows. Okay. But still, I'm really excited that I just got Iris to this point where it can create any sort of thing in the project for me, because it's taken me a long time to get to this point. Even working with AI, it's like with AI doing a lot of the coding, actually all of the coding for this project, it's still taken me like months upon months to get it to this point. Because this is a multifaceted project. We've got the repos, we've got the bridges, we've got LLM customization, right? So Iris is actually, by default, it's 4 models, 4 Ollama models. But you can turn off the coder if you're not going to be doing coding. You can turn off the vision if you don't want that, because that is probably the heaviest model. You can also add any custom model. You can customize these models as much as you want. It also tells you your effective context footprint, so like how heavy things are going to be while you're running it. And it gives you also like a baseline, like if these are your specs, this is kind of what you can expect. Iris is so awesome, man. I don't know, I'm so happy about it. You can scan hardware and recommend, right, and get the automatically recommended default LLM profile for your device. Controller, this is something I'm setting up, but basically this enables other AI to control Iris. So basically Iris would become the MCP'd device. Another thing about bridges is that not only do we have desktop tools and MCP tools, but we also got SSH right here. And I haven't tested this out a bunch. I have not tested it out much. I know the MCP is working, at least for Godot. The Godot MCP tool that I have is something I had to pay $15 for to get an MCP server. There's probably another way to do it. Maybe I'll set up my own free tool at some point that'll be meant for Iris, so that people don't have to do that. But as of now, that's how it is, at least the way I have it set up. So, if I go to tab 3 and I choose test project or whatever, I go to settings, and I go to projects, and I go down to the test project. You can see that the Godot repository is selected, the GDScript repository, the MCP to this Godot project is selected, so it knows to interact with this Godot project. I could connect an SSH to it. I can connect as many of these things as I want to. And also in the repository, I can choose which of the repository files I want to select for this project. And if I hit automatic, then Iris will iterate through the different files and choose which files to select automatically based on other parameters, such as this description. And there's also an internal data web that Iris uses to kind of navigate and store the information about the project. Oh man, there's so much happening, yeah. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say about this before I moved on. Well, you can change the name of Iris, of course. So in options up here, we got a couple other things, right? Agent stats and the tools center. Oh my god, this is so cool. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm like bragging. I'm like gloating over my own app. Okay, so the tools center though. So at this moment there are 6 built-in tools for the app. There's the file system, which actually is what Iris is sometimes using to navigate this Godot project as well. The MCP bridges, excuse me, SSH bridges, desktop tools, project memory, which is something I'll probably be working on forever. Man, I need some water or something. And then network lookup. This is also a work in progress. Right now, Iris is pretty good at like checking the weather. But if you ask it a follow-up question, like, can you find me the UV index for that area? It's like, I don't know. So, it's a work in progress. But the cool thing is, and I haven't tested this much either. But you can add your own instruction tools. And basically the idea here, and this is an idea that a lot of these ideas are ideas that I want to apply into all my robotics and AI projects. And this is about customization. And so I have to create a better framework that can truly support this. But the idea is that users can set up their own tool loops, basically, and tell Iris how to do these things using the what it already has available to it. Potentially really powerful in the future. As of now, a work in progress. But what comes with that is agent stats. And what this is really about is about self-awareness. Iris self-awareness. At this time, I'm starting to code in with GitHub Copilot that Iris will ask permission before doing certain things. Well, this adds another layer to permission and confidence, self-confidence. So as you can see, all those tools that we had listed are here in agent stats, plus a couple other things: 3D modeling, debugging, planning, coding. Actually, So what's going on here is that it starts, I get, maybe it'll start with all of these, but before I release every version of Iris, I'm gonna update these numbers. These numbers are not accurate. These should all be like way lower for the most part. But these numbers represent how good Iris believes it is at these tasks, right? And so on each release of each free version of Iris, there will be the default stats. It would be like say like file system would be like 13 or something. But here's the cool thing is as you use Iris, Iris listens to you, to your feedback, and also gives itself feedback. And so over time, it's going to start saying, oh, I'm actually not as good at MCP bridges as I thought. Or, oh, I'm actually a lot better at project memory than I thought. And this is custom to you because it also kind of depends on, you know, how the prompts that you give, you know, and how good you are at AI as well. But still, this helps Iris to just be like, okay, you know, I'm not good at coding, you know? So I'm going to make sure that before I code, I ask permission to code, and also that I look up references online. You know, there will be different things for different proficiencies. So for more specific things, like, I don't know, writing functions or a specific type of 3D modeling or asset creation, you know, if it finds that it's not good at that kind of thing, then usually the default behavior will either be that it asks for permission before doing it, or it tries to find another way. So, yeah, maybe I went into that too much. When I explained it all to my wife, it went completely over her head. But to me, it's so cool, and I just made it. So I'm, like, especially passionate about it because it's fresh, you know. Okay, but that's Iris. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that wasn't too long. I know that's a lot longer than probably all the other projects here are going to be. Okay, but it's time for project number 3. So, oh, I gotta open it though. But so this is I've honestly kind of been thinking about it as it's my art therapy for myself. You know, like these other projects are all awesome and I love them and enjoy them. But sometimes they can be a headache, you know? And this project can, of course, you know, be a headache at times too. But there's just something a lot more wholesome about it. And basically what Pyrus, it's just very tentatively called Pyrus because I was initially building it on a Raspberry Pi. And it was supposed to be like a cousin of Iris. But it's turned into something completely different. There's this project has the least amount of AI. There's not no AI. It created some of the weather system. It helped with the character AI. But basically what this game is, it's a simulation JRPG game. And it's 2.5D. What she's doing right now, she's doing on her own. She just went and fed herself. And I don't know why she's trying to go outside. But she's got a little cat companion. She's got some stats that are just internal. You know, it's almost like the Sims in a way where, like, when her own needs get low, she'll take care of herself. She'll feed herself. She'll go to sleep. She'll turn on some music or talk to the cat if she's bored or lonely. She can open the window to get some fresh air, and it does affect her nature. Her nature, you know, she needs to get outside sometimes. Right now, the weather is 24-hour real-time weather, meaning that it reflects the real weather outside. And you can even, in the settings, you can enter your longitude, latitude, and it'll like adjust the weather settings to like where you're living. It's not going to be exact necessarily unless you live like pretty close to where I do, Durham, North Carolina. But there's honestly not a lot happening in the game right now. Oops. But if you step outside, you can kind of get an idea of like where we're going with this. I think the idea for the game, I'm honestly letting this project evolve just very naturally at its own speed, on its own terms. And I think where it's going is that it's almost like when you go on YouTube, and if you're like me and you like to play YouTube lo-fi scenes, it's like every scene in this game is calming lo-fi scene, and there's going to be beautiful music in every scene. There's so much. Right now there's a ton of tracks. They're copyrighted, so I can't use them indefinitely necessarily. But, you know, it's just like real chill vibes. And I think that the story is going to be something kind of like, you know, she's this very homey, down-to-earth girl. She's not a city girl. She lives out, like, down past the mountains in this, you know, kind of small, very chill town. There's a shop outside that some old people run, and that's where she gets her, like, groceries from, and she can maybe get some, like, new furniture there. She can get a part-time job there. But I think she's gonna get a letter from, or I think she has a sister. She's got a sister that lives in the city that she hasn't talked to in a long time. And something happens. You know, she gets a letter or something like that. And she's wondering what happened to her sister. And she ends up going on a search to find what happened to her sister because she hasn't heard from her and she's not getting any response. The cat has never been stuck outside like that before. But the cat can open and close, can close the door if you keep the door open for too long. I was kind of worried I was going to fall through the ground there. There's going to be some mountains in the background, and you can take a bus, Spirited Away style, through the mountains into the city. And that's where her sister's supposed to be. And I think she's going to experience all sorts of things. She's going to... a lot of great music, a lot of great food. She's going to meet a lot of great people. And yeah, I don't know, man. This project just kind of heals my soul. Except for the fact that she can't get up this hill right now. That's okay. We'll figure that out later. I have one person who's potentially doing some modeling for me for this project. But all the modeling done so far has actually been done by me. It's not very impressive. You know, it's just like a simple bed, simple fridge, stuff like that. But it's there. I just took a 3D modeling class at Wake Tech too, so I feel a lot better about it now. Those are I think. But I was going to talk about a little bit more, some ideas for the future. You see, I just got this cool new toy with my tax refund. Check it out. The Bamboo Lab P1S printer. Apparently, it's a pretty good one. I've made some pretty cool, pretty fun stuff with it so far. I got this riser for it for the top, but I got to put it together. I've got the AMS system. And I've got CMYK filament for it. So if you know about that, you can use like the Orca slicer. To showing you all my full apartment. Okay. But my wife, she has a small pop-up business where she goes to markets and sells products and services. So I made her some cups in this basket. It's really cool. They're stackable. And I made this little robot guy, although his arms don't fit. But this right here is kind of cool. This one I want to talk about. I don't know if you can tell. It's supposed to be like a little like tech, like a little like cyberpunk virtual assistant. Kind of was what I was going for, but in a physical form, obviously. And so, like, on one level, I was kind of thinking, like, I'm thinking about robots. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about local robots. I'm thinking that the world is too pessimistic about AI and robots. Everyone thinks that iRobot's going to happen. Everyone thinks that, you know, like, there's only one end to this AI nonsense. Not everybody thinks this. Sorry, I'm generalizing. But a lot of people. I hear so many people. And they're so afraid of AI. They're so afraid of robots. But like, y'all, can I be real? Like, what about BMO from Adventure Time? What about R2-D2? You know, what about Big Hero 6? Isn't that what that movie's called? And that friendly robot in it. You know, like, what about the cute little wholesome robots that some of us have been dreaming about since we're young. AI doesn't have to be evil. We don't need it to be run by data centers and corporations. Not all of it, at least. You know, we can have wholesome AI and robots in our home. For my wife, you know, we're going to use this to make her some things to sell. I'm trying to change the world, y'all. Where did those little robots go? ADHD devlog, y'all. ADHD devlog. I don't even know. But so the short term idea is to get Iris or a derivative or sibling, cousin, you know, of Iris, the AI program that I showed you guys, and have it be basically a mind for like a robot, you know, and a fairly intelligent one. But art as just something that I could just put like on my desktop, you know. And there are those, you might have seen those hot new hologram AI things, right? You can put them on your desk and plug it in, and it can like watch your game and comment on your game as you play it, right? I had that idea before. I want that in my little robot. Maybe it'll be hooked up to this guy one day, or probably not actually, because my desktop is a lot more powerful. But maybe I'd have some smaller robots at some point. But where am I going with this? ADHD devlog. Basically, like, I would love at Macy's, right? Get some servos, get inner gizzards, and create a little robot right here that can like walk around, interact with me. Maybe there's a small set that it's contained to exist on, you know, for starters, and it's your buddy, and it's wholesome, and it can't take any of your privacy. It can't, because it's working on Ollama, and it's network optional, you know, just like Iris. And I think it's one of my biggest projects, you know, and I think it could lead to so much. I think that we need a wave of, where did the app go? I think that we need a wave of like wholesome AI and robots. Because right now everybody sees is corporate AI and corporate robots. The Tesla bots and the China bots, you know. It can be so much more than that, though. So much more. So, okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up. This thing has been like 30 minutes. That's like way longer than I ever want one of my videos to be, I think. But there was a lot to cover. This is the introductory video. Watch it. Watch. Nobody's going to watch this video, I bet. It's going to get like 100 or so views, one comment, maybe, like a couple no, it's going to get 0 like. It's going to have 1 like. It's going to be my like. We'll see. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep making devlogs, and I'm going to keep making them this way. Maybe they'll get a little better. I'll probably improve on some aspects, but like I said, like, I don't want to be doing all that, you know? I don't want to be spending a lot of time making devlogs, because I have a lot of projects to make. You know, maybe at some point I'll get somebody to help me. But right now, that's why I'm making Iris, because I'm an independent developer. I need more help. I have a lot of projects I want to make. This is just the start, honestly. I have way more projects in my head that I want to create, put out. You know, I have a really big VR MMO game project that I want to work on at some point. And the world that game lives in, that's a multi-game world. There are other in fact, I think that the simulation JRPG that I'm making now, I think that's going to be the first glimpse into that world. Although a lot of people probably won't know it. But that's okay. That's okay. The really hardcore fans who look into the story of how these games and the world is connected, they'll see. They'll see. But anyways, thanks for watching. Great meeting you. Hope you enjoyed meeting me. That was the ADHD devlog number 1. Sorry for the coughing and all the light in my glasses, but it's just part of the video. Alright, peace out.